What's going on, NBA fans? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Central. You got me today, Bobby, one of the Cognac boys. Look, I'm here to let y'all know the Boston Celtics are playing with fire, and they need to get it together. I'm going to talk about that, plus a little bit more, right out of there.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Look, we know the Boston Celtics right now is clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference left in the playoffs, at least so we think, at least on paper, the best team and possibly the deepest team left in the Eastern Conference playoffs. We know that last season with head coach Ime Udoka at the helm, they went to the finals. They did lose, but they went to the finals. They had solid defense. They were very disciplined. They were good coming out of timeouts, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And right now, under Joe Mazzulla, it's a bit questionable. It's a bit questionable on what the hell is going on with the Boston Celtics. For real, in my opinion, under Joe Mazzulla, the same things that I just previously mentioned, good play calling, defense, and discipline, is not existent under head coach Joe Mazzulla. Did the Boston Celtics make a mistake? I don't know. That's still to be determined. But as of right now, these guys, they lack the defensive intensity that they once had. They lack the discipline that they once had. And it seems like they have pivoted to being a more offensive-minded team, which is something that did not help them get to the playoffs. Get to the finals last season. Last season, they were on their P's and Q's defensively when all failed. When everything failed, when the shot wasn't falling, when things wasn't happening well offensively, these guys last year depended a lot on their defense, and that's how they were able to shut down multiple teams and make it to the NBA Finals last season. But this season, with the lack of discipline, with the lack of defensive intensity, and the over-exuberance of that offense that Joe Mazzulla has implemented, these guys are shooting way more threes, and they are finding themselves in some tough situations. In the first round, they had the Atlanta Hawks down 3-1 with opportunity to close the game on their home floor, and they blew it. They blew it. And they blew it and let Trae Young just have a great playoff game, and basically push the game to where they had to go out and close it out in 6 games. Now, in round 2, these guys are still playing with their food, still playing with the fire. And without Joel Embiid, they allowed James Harden to turn back the clock and make it look like that he was out there playing for the Houston 76ers or the Philadelphia Rockets, however you want to put it. That's how it looked last night. These guys came out, they were playing with their food, and it resulted in a game 1 loss. Is the series over? Absolutely not. It's still 6 games left to be played. But now you allow the 76ers to rest Joel Embiid for another game and come out fresher when they go back to Philadelphia in game 3. Now that the 76ers has stolen one on the road, now they can really come in. You know what I'm saying? I know that these guys competitors, so they're not going to come in and say, hey, we're just going to throw the game. They're still going to compete because it's the playoffs, and it's competitors. It's professional basketball players. They still going to compete. But you gave this team a little bit more confidence to say, hey, we beat y'all without our best player. Imagine what's going to happen in the confidence that they're going to have when the best player comes back. You know what I'm saying? And it all went down because bad decisions made by these players, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, who is supposed to be the core of the Boston Celtics, and Joe Mazzulla. Bad decision-making down the stretch, multiple turnovers, multiple possessions to where they come up empty because they jacking threes and not attacking the basket. That was something that we seen last year when Jason Tatum didn't have it going from the three-point line, or at least when it came down to shooting. We seen Jason Tatum go to the basket. He hit a game win, I believe, against Kyrie Irving last year. It was going towards the basket against the Brooklyn Nets in their first round matchup, to where they was able to sweep that series. It's different now. But I got a question, Joe Mazzulla. You have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and you call a play for Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart, instead of going up and shooting the basket with 8.4 seconds left, you try to make a horrible, tough pass to Jason Tatum, which resulted in being the game decisive, the decision to seal the game. That was pretty much what it was. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. The more you mess around, the more you'll find out. Y'all know what I want to say, but it's cool. The more you mess around, the more you'll find out. Continue to play with your food, and they will be going home. And we already know there's plenty of speculations going on with Jaylen Brown about it's speculations. But he did come out and say he did not like that he was in trade talks for Kevin Durant. What if he's starting to feel like this is not the place for him anymore? You better get your stuff together and get this team locked in and loaded, because players will want to move. Things can change. And it seemed, as of right now, it seemed like the Boston Celtics may have made a bad mistake getting rid of Ime Udoka. It's still to be determined, but as of right now, it ain't looking too good. These guys are playing with fire, and they will be sent home because these guys should be having the mindset of going back to the NBA Finals. It is not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but there are some things to consider when looking at the Boston Celtics. They don't have to worry about the Milwaukee Bucks anymore. The Miami Heat got them up out of there. They're the deepest team in the East. Probably one of the deeper teams in the entire NBA. They definitely have one of the best duos in the East. It's a lot of people who can argue, say they have the best duo left in the East. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are continuously coming out here, playing with their food, acting as if somebody's just going to lay down for them because they have on a Boston Celtics uniform. It doesn't work like that. You got to come in, engage, ready to play, and ready to take over. These guys they treaded on some things that they don't want to tread on a thin line of being sent home. And that's what it is. They still have 6 games left in this series. But if you come in here playing around, they will be going home. I don't know what gonna happen in game 2 and moving on for the rest of the series. But right now, the Boston Celtics, they playing with fire because you just gave the 76ers more life. You gave them more time to buy for Joel Embiid. If you go ahead and you win the game, then you come out with more energy, possibly go up 2-0. Now you're putting the pressure on the 76ers. But now the 76ers, they feeling real good about themselves. Because now they have the mindset of, hey, let's go steal another. Let's go buy some more time. Most of us seen Joel Embiid jumping up and down, being super excited on the bench at the end of the game because he knew they won a game without me. Now what's going to happen when I do come back? So continue to go ahead and play with that fire, the Boston Celtics, and y'all going to be going home. That's just what it is. But hey, that's it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, y'all go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know your thoughts and how you feeling about everything we talked about today down below in the comment section so we can chop it up for the day about the Boston Celtics versus the 76ers, because they allowed James Harden to turn back the clock and perform and put on the show and seal the game. And clearly he showed that he was, in my opinion, he was the best player on the floor last night. And in any other case, I will say Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown was the better player on the court, but not last night. James Harden with the Cookie Monster uniform came in and did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you want to go ahead and follow everyone here, go ahead and send everyone here an email at nbacentralshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at NBA Central Pod. And if you want to respond to this video or any other video we dropped before, go ahead and hit us up at 773-270-2799 and give us your take. This is another episode of NBA Central. I'm Bobby. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to the #1 place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.